What's going on, girls and boys? It's your boy DJ Rob Alon, live and direct from Las Vegas. Live shot of Las Vegas right there. This down here, that's a picture of my gear. Shout out to Mix Coast for these amazing slip mats. They're also available at the store. The supplies are running out, so you need them, get at me. Again, the store I'm talking about is the one you see rotating over there in the upper left-hand corner. The one-stop DJ shop here in Las Vegas. And we're on the second floor of the Arts Factory, suite number 280. Call me anytime, 702-738-1970. You need something pro DJ gear related, lights or accessories. We're your first stop here in Las Vegas and your last stop, the one-stop DJ shop. But today, not talking about gear per se, but I am talking about something that's of interest to maybe a few of you out there. So I just wanted to give you guys a peek behind the green curtain and let you see what I'm up to when I'm not at the shop and when I'm not out here doing my thing. Shout out to Jason Gully, One Stop DJ Shop in Modesto, and shout out to my Unfiltered Soul partner in crime, Doug Mixer, and also, again, shout out to Mix Coast, Charlene and Felix doing big things. Again, you need t-shirts, stickers, Mix Coast gear, slip mats. Come see me, holler at your boy. But again, as I was saying, I really want to draw your attention to a look behind the green curtain, what makes a guy like me tick, some of the things that I'm into. And one of the things that I'm into, among other things, is Serato control vinyl. You might be asking yourself, what's that? So Serato control vinyl is either a 7-inch record or a 10-inch record or a 12-inch record that has time code on it. This is a 7-inch version. And on that time code, you can put the needle on the record and hook it up to your software on your laptop. And the digital files that you have on your laptop, music files or music video files, can be manipulated and played out of your speakers through the turntables. Revolutionary technology in the 2005-2006 era completely changed the game, made turntablism and turntables relevant again, because if you remember, CDs were making a big push. Other formats had tried, but CDs really kind of took over the DJ booth. And then after CDs, Serato really stepped it up with the noise map, and this software and this technology made it to the right hardware, made DJing with turntables amazing all over again. Absolute mode kept it old school. Relative mode kept it really interesting. And internal mode saved your ass in case things went sideways. So, as an old school OG DJ from way back in the day, I grew up and I learned on turntables. So when I got back into the game in about 04, 05, 06, somewhere in there, obviously a lot had changed, and Serato was a big part of that revolution. And when I jumped on board, I jumped on full bore. And so I started collecting control vinyl. And control vinyl is pretty straightforward. As again, I gave you the definition and the explanation of what it does and why it's remarkable. But in addition to that, it kind of created a subculture in terms of collectors, because DJs are sneakerheads, they're diggers, and collectors of all kinds of music, and they tend to kind of hoard / collect. And so once you start collecting, if you collect anything, you know what it is. You're trying to get it all. You're trying to collect every piece. And so they came out with freaks that they didn't officially release. They had special pressings. They had artist pressings. And then they had official control vinyl like this that had a little bit more nuance to it. So I don't remember exactly when, but at NAMM, when they dropped these, and somebody please correct me in the chat or in the comments below. When these dropped at NAMM, you bought them, and they were slightly different than this. I'm going to try and see if the camera can capture this. but there's a sticker that binds this sleeve, that binds this plastic sleeve. And I don't know if you can see that sticker. Let me see if I can put this there. You see that sticker? It's like a semicircle, and then it's the other part of the circle's on this side. And so I'm going to pop this open, and you can see that once I get it out, I got to mount my mic stand again so I can talk and have both hands free. But I'm going to pull this out and let you see something in particular. So what we have here, and you can check yours at home if you actually have this, on the A side, you can see, oh, you know what, let me switch that overhead camera. That's a better look. On the A side, you can see the grooves there, right? And you can see that each groove that's thicker, I believe, represents a minute. So there are 4 of those grooves, and that means there are 4 minutes on this side. And if I flip it over, you see 5 of those deep grooves, and that means that there are 5 minutes of time code on this side. So 4 minutes on this side, on the A side, 5 minutes on the B side. Nothing really interesting there other than there's 1 minute difference. So now let's move this one out of the way. And then at NAMM, and I believe it was at NAMM, the fundamental difference between this one that I just showed you and this one that you got at NAMM is what's contained on the actual vinyl. The easiest way for you to tell the difference without opening up the two, if you're lucky enough to have 2 different sets, is the way that this one's packaged. You see that flap? This came with a flap instead of a circle sticker. So if you have the flap, you have the one that's highly, highly, highly collectible. And so let me open this up and show you why. So I'm just going to open up this flap. And then, of course, I got to take it out the sleeve. I should have some Jeopardy music playing in the background, but I don't because I don't want the video to get flagged. And violate some kind of copyright. So again, here on the on this record, you can see there's 5 minutes there, 5 minutes on this side, which means that there's 4 minutes on this side, right? That's what the label would have you believe. But check this out. So I'm going to take this out of the sleeve and let you see something before I play it for you. So here on the B side, you can see the 5 grooves. This is 5 minutes of Serato control tone. I don't know why that's washing out the label like that. But then on this side, look at that. No deep grooves. See that? So even though the label says that there should be 4 minutes of control tone here, guess what, girls and boys? There's no control tone on here. So, Rob, what's on that record? Well, I'm happy you asked me. Please let me show you. So let's get these out of the way so we can get straight to it. But before we do that, I want to show you that there were some other iterations of that. Came out in blue, and that was just completely sealed for collectors who care about such things, in cellophane. I believe that's cellophane. And then they also made a clear one. And the clear ones have the same flap as the special black ones do. But Serato went and took it one step further. One of the first pressings that I ever got was this one. with Serato control tone on one side. But what was really cool is that they had Mr. Clean and the Soul Inc.'s take of What's Going On, a Marvin Gaye cover. Amazing record. Amazing record. Super happy to have that. Of course, I'm sitting on dubs. And shout out to Dub Cowboy, who's along with Josh. We're OGs in the game that really got me collecting, inspired me to do so, and were very helpful in me attaining and achieving and accomplishing so many great things in the world of collecting Serato Control vinyl. But more importantly, they made it fun, they kept it interesting, and they made it accessible. It was a very, very, very good time back in the day to be a person collecting Serato Control vinyl. This is just another iteration, a special pack. Adrian Young, Ghostface Killer. Very nice. Limited, of course, to 500. And, of course, I have one to play, one to parlay, and I forgot my other little saying. Isn't that crazy? But I had 3 sayings, so I had to have 3 sets of every record. Every record I got my hands on, I had one for myself, one to play, one to display. That was it. One to show. And then I had one to parlay, to either trade up or trade out or something, or just even just be good to somebody and hook them up with something they didn't have. But even before Serato dropped any of those releases, the other thing that they did that was super, super cool was that they had these. And I got to take these out of the package so you can see them. And I know the video's a little bit long, but this history and how I came to it and what they did in the process, I think is really important. So hopefully you're enjoying it as much as I'm enjoying sharing it. And so you can see these came like this. And if I open this up, OG label on the A side, that's kind of washing out. Sorry about that. And then the B side, 5 on the B side, 4 on the A side. And then I forget what they call this thing on the inner side. So the 4 minutes on the A side meant that you had a scrolling function. There was a loop, an infinite loop in here on the inside groove, the most inner portion of this record, that you could spin to cycle through your tracks. So you could access your tracks really easily and quickly. I was never a fan of that. I never used that. And actually, when my record went into that mode, it actually kind of made me angry. So, but that's the brief history on that. But I do have some other 7 inches in here that I want to show you, but I got to put the microphone down to get into this pack. So Serato, again, out of New Zealand, was trying to get traction in the early 2000s. And as part of their marketing and promotions, again, I got some of these fat men here. You got to stay with the extras because you never know who needs it, and you never know what you can trade to get something else you might need. But anyway, as I was saying, Serato was trying to introduce its software and its technology to the DJing community in the early 2000s. And one of the things that they used to do was they used to give out promo records to people who would stop by at trade shows, and especially at NAMM here in the States in Anaheim every year in January, which is now April in 2022-23. But that's another subject. They used to give out promos. And one of the promos that they gave out was a Big Hole 75, dinked, if you will. And that's this bad boy. And again, you know, just 4 minutes of control tone on the A side, 5 minutes on the B side. and that scrolling loop again on the A side. But these you could not buy. You had to be at a trade show or know somebody at Serato, or be a beta tester way back in the day, or have some kind of relationship with Serato. And these control vinyls were control vinyl. Vinyl is plural for vinyl. Is just a way that they would thank you, and try and encourage you to continue to engage in the promotion and the using of their software. And for me, this is amazing. It's something that says that you were an early adopter, says that you were there at the beginning, if you got these actually at the trade show. And if you got them later on, it spoke to your knowledge of the movement, so to speak. And so I have these here in the big hole form and in the small hole. And one of the rarest small hole ones that they produce, so these are all big holes, just I think there's like 6 there, so not that I'm keeping count. But this was kind of the rarest one. So just when you thought you had it all, then somebody would come online like Stuart, and he would show you this. And this one was hard to get. But again, different in that it had this record, and then there was also this other record. And I believe that this is a small hole 45. Let me try and pull this out of the sleeve and not lose contact with the mic. Yep. So this is what the small hole looks like, as opposed to that large dink hole that I showed you earlier. And so this was a very rare record, because if you look at the sleeve, there are only 50 examples of this set worldwide ever produced. And even though my thing is watched, there we go, in the upper right-hand corner, I don't know if you can see that, but I literally have set number 49 out of 50. So yeah, I've been in this collection game for a minute, and I'm very proud of my collection and proud of my association with Serato, and I'm sure to share more of that with you as I make more videos. But just wanted to give you a little information, a little backstory, a little history of this amazing company and these amazing marketing tools that they use to try and get DJs interested in using their software early on. So now back to the present day. And again, somebody's going to correct me in the comments below on the year. But there was a NAMM where you were able to buy these records, these small 45s. I'm going to go back to the other camera view so you can see. And so, as I was telling you before, one A side had control tone. And so normally you would just hear whatever song was on my computer, but I'm just going to play you the control tone so you can hear how that sounds. So you can be aware. There you go. So that's what that record sounds like. So on this other one, though, remember it had an A side as well in the same label, but listen to what you got on this one. And that's what makes this one so collectible. Yeah. That is crazy. So, of course, when Serato found this out, so many of these things had gone into the wind, because people were, by then we were all turned on and we were all, yeah, I'm collecting. Yeah, give me one, give me one, give me one. So, everybody's in line picking these things up. And then when they get home from NAMM, they bust them open. And they're like, yo, there's this loop on the record. So I don't know if the loop didn't clear sample or copyright or whatever. I don't know what happened, but this was clearly a mistake. And it was corrected toot sweet. And so no more of these got out into the public, and everything else that was released was this one. And as you've heard, straight control tone. So, as you know, I've got more than one pair. So the first $50 takes a sealed set. As a thank you for listening and just taking this walk with me, I want to try and leave 2022 in good stead, and I want to move forward in 2023, trying to keep it original, trying to keep it relevant, trying to do something different, because there's a lot of noise out there, and I know you're getting it. And rather than add to that,